It's 2:14 in the morning and you're standing in your kitchen in the dark with your hand on the freezer door. Behind that door, at the back, behind the bag of frozen peas nobody in this house eats, there's a pint of ice cream you hid from yourself 3 weeks ago. You told yourself you threw it out. You didn't. Your hand is on the handle and your hand is shaking, not from the cold. You are 14 days into quitting sugar, and every cell in your body is screaming one word at you, over, and the word is now. Your daughter is asleep down the hall. You can hear the house. You can hear your own heartbeat. Before you open that door, we have to go back and see how you got here. You never decided to eat sugar. That's the thing you figure out later. Nobody wakes up one day and chooses it. It was just always there. It was in your coffee before you were awake enough to taste it. It was the thing your mother handed you to stop you crying when you were 3.
It was the reward at the end of every hard day, and the celebration at the end of every good one. Birthdays, Fridays, breakups, promotions, funerals. There is not a single important moment in your life that somebody didn't hand you sugar to mark it. You are 34 years old, and you have eaten something sweet nearly every single day you have been alive. You don't think of yourself as an addict. Addicts shake in alleys. You just have a coffee. You just have a little something after dinner. It's just one. Then comes the appointment. Routine physical. You almost skipped it. The doctor is younger than you, and she doesn't make small talk. She turns her monitor toward you and points at a number on your blood panel. Your fasting glucose. Then another number under it, the one that averages the last 3 months. She says the word pre-diabetic, and it doesn't sound like a warning. It sounds like a door quietly closing. She asks about your family.
And you tell her the thing you never say out loud. Your father. The insulin in the fridge next to the milk. The way his feet went first. The dialysis chair he sat in 3 days a week for the last 4 years of his life. He was 51 when it started. You do the math right there in the chair. You are 34. That gives you 17 years, if you're lucky, if you're exactly like him, and you have his blood. You drive home and your daughter is at the kitchen table doing homework, and she looks up and holds out a gummy bear from the bag in front of her. You want one? She says, and you almost take it. Your hand is already moving. Then you stop, and you look at the bag, and you look at her, and you realize she learned that from somewhere. She learned that food is love and love is sugar, and she learned it from watching you. That's the moment, not the number. The number is just paper. This is the moment. You say no. You say, not. And you decide, standing in your own kitchen, that you're done. 30 days, no added sugar. You don't tell anyone because if you tell people, they watch you fail.
Day 1 is easy. Day 1 is always easy. You feel like a hero. You drink your coffee black and it tastes like punishment, but you drink it anyway, and you feel powerful. You read the labels for the first time in your life and you cannot believe what you find. Sugar in the bread, sugar in the pasta sauce, sugar in the thing that says healthy on the front in green letters. You start to understand that you were never really making choices. The choices were made for you on a factory floor by people who know exactly how your brain works. Day 2, the headache starts. It sits behind your eyes and it does not leave. You take something for it. It doesn't help because it's not that kind of headache. Here's what's happening inside you, in the dark, where you can't see it. For years, every time you ate sugar, your brain released dopamine, the same chemical, the same pathway that lights up for every other thing humans chase. And your brain, being smart, being efficient, noticed you were flooding it every single day. So it did the logical thing. It turned down the volume. It removed receptors. It made itself numb so that normal amounts of pleasure would still register. Which means right now, on day 2, with the sugar gone, you are not at 0. You are below 0. The world has gone gray and flat and joyless, and there is a hole in the middle of you, exactly the shape of the thing you took away. Day 3, you snap at your daughter. Over nothing.
over a spilled cup. You watch her face change and you hate yourself, and you can't stop. Because low blood sugar doesn't just make you tired. It goes straight for the part of your brain that handles patience, judgment, the ability to not be a monster. The part that makes you you is the first part that starts starving. Hangry is not a joke. It is your prefrontal cortex going dark. For years, sugar smoothed all of this over. Every spike, then every crash, then another spike to fix the crash. A roller coaster you rode so constantly you thought the ride was the ground. Now the ride has stopped, and you are standing on legs that forgot how to stand. Days 4 and 5 are the worst. This is the pit. Your body has run out of the easy fuel and hasn't yet remembered the old way of making energy from what you actually have. You are exhausted in a way that sleep doesn't touch. The cravings come in waves now, and they're not gentle. They arrive at specific times, 3 in the afternoon, right after dinner, the moment you sit in the one chair you always sat in when you ate the thing. Your brain built a map, and every landmark on that map is screaming. You learn something ugly about yourself in these days. You learn how much of your happiness you had outsourced to a molecule. You learn how little was left underneath it. You start hiding things from yourself. This is the part nobody tells you about. You buy the ice cream for your daughter, you tell yourself, and you put it at the back of the freezer, and you know exactly why it's there. It's not for her. It's a door you're leaving unlocked. And here's the math you can't stop running now. Your father made the same decision 100 times. Cut back Monday, broke Thursday. Every single week for 30 years. It was never one big failure. It was 1,000 small it's just ones. That's how it always goes. It's never the pint that gets you. It's the one bite that proves the pint doesn't matter. Day 9. Something shifts and it tricks you. The headache lifts. You have a good morning. You feel clear. And your brain, the second it feels okay, whispers the most dangerous sentence in the entire 30 days. You've got this under control now, so one won't hurt. This is the trap. The recovery is the trap. You feel strong enough to have a little, and having a little is the only thing that can put you back at the bottom. You almost fall for it. You don't. Which brings you back to the kitchen, 2:14 in the morning, day 14, your hand on the freezer door. You've done the hard part. 2 weeks. You are past the worst of the withdrawal, and your body is finally learning to run clean, and you know all of this. And none of it matters at 2:14 in the morning when the craving is a living thing with its own voice. You could open the door. Nobody would ever know. That's the whole horror of it. There's no security camera on this. No one is watching. It would be so easy and so completely invisible. You stand there for a long time. You think about your father's feet. You think about the dialysis chair. You think about your daughter holding out the gummy bear and the woman she's going to become and who she's learning to be from the person standing in this kitchen right now in the dark. You take your hand off the door. You don't open it. You get a glass of water instead. Your hand is still shaking as you drink it. You go back to bed and you lie there wide awake until the window turns gray, and you do not go back to the kitchen. You made it through the one night. That's all it ever is. One night at a time. Something changes after that. Not all at once. Around day 18, you notice you slept through the night. Around day 20, you bite into a strawberry and it is so violently sweet it almost startles you. Because your taste receptors, dialed down for years to survive the flood, have finally recalibrated to the real world. Fruit tastes like candy now. Your energy stops crashing at 3 because there's nothing left to crash from. The fog you didn't know you were living in lifts, and underneath it, your mind is quiet and sharp in a way you genuinely can't remember. You start to suspect you spent years slightly poisoned and called it normal. Day 30. You made it. But here's the other thing that changes. Once the fog lives, you start looking at your own kitchen differently. Not as the place the cravings live, but as the place the answers were hiding the whole time. That's the whole idea behind My Living Pantry, the tool I've linked in the description. It takes the real food already on your shelves, the herbs, the spices, the things you forgot you had, and turns them into meals built around how you actually want to feel. Steady energy, calm sleep. No sugarcoating, no hype. Just your kitchen, finally on your side. The link's waiting below, whenever tonight's version of you is ready.